In this video, I have a tier list for each rank. I'm going to be breaking down which characters are best for each rank. If you didn't know, I do a tier list every single season. So this is season 3.0. I'm going to be doing one in 3.5, 4.0, and so on. So if you don't want to miss any of those tier lists, make sure you subscribe, that way you're notified. Hopin, why would I care about your tier list over anybody else's? Well, I am a solo player that does not use comms. This means that if you are a solo player, whether you use comms or not, or you're someone who just plays with a duo, this is going to be the best list for you because this is more focused on what you can do by yourself, not what makes the best team comps and things like that. If that's the type of player you are, then you are in the right place. And just real quick before we start, if you want a more in-depth tier list, if you want an explanation to all these characters and why I place them in specific ranks and all that extra good stuff, check the stream out below and you can just go to the character and get the explanation. This is going to be a quick rundown because I don't want you to spend too much of your time here. I just want you to look at the list and get on about your business. Let's hop into it. So starting off with the bronze to diamond tier list. So bronze to diamond are ranks where players are generally not sure. It's the wild west. You got players fighting over there, people taking chip damage all over the place. Like, it's not cohesive. There's not a lot of cooperation in these ranks, and so this is why specific characters are stronger here. As we discuss the other ranks, we'll talk more about that, but let's go ahead and hop into this. So we have free wins. Free wins are just you pick these characters and you're good to go. So we have Black Panther. Why is this a free win for bronze to diamond? Strictly because, again, there's no cooperation. People don't peel for each other. People don't play together. People are fragmented. Healers like to run away when they get chased instead of play with their team. It's just, you get a lot done. Even if you do not get a KO, you still took a lot of time away from the enemy, which allows for the Panthers team to just stomp your team. So that's really that's why he's very strong, regardless if he gets KOs or not. Cloak and Dagger, because of the positioning, is pretty poor in this rank. She gets a lot of KOs for free. Just walk up to somebody and use the curtain and just get the KO for free. She also makes a lot of space with her ultimate. And in these ranks, people generally try to fight in the ultimate instead of running out of it. Next we have Groot. Groot is, I don't really consider him to be a crazy tank, but the fact is he's a skill check character. This means that you have to learn how to play around his walls. Your entire team does. And if they don't know how to, you're gonna lose. That's pretty much why he's super strong, in my opinion, especially in these ranks. You have Hela, which is next. Really the main reason why Hela is strong in these ranks is just because of her room-wide AoE ultimate. Just farm your ult, pop it off when the healers don't have ults, you'll win the fight every time. Next, we have Iron Fist. So Iron Fist is just annoying, same as Black Panther, but he's even more so annoying because he's hard to get away from. Black Panther is kind of stuck in the area he decides to fight you in. However, Iron Fist can kind of just do whatever he wants and go wherever he wants and chase you to the ends of it. Next we have, and he can deal with flyers. Next we have Iron Man. Iron Man's hard to hit in these ranks. Not many people even care about taking him out, so he just gets a lot of free damage on the enemy. And because a lot of supports in this rank don't ult with strategy, they just use their ultimate and just do whatever they want, he just gets free one shots on supports and just auto wins matches, like without a doubt. Next we have Magic. When we're talking about Magic is very button spamming in this rank. You don't need to time your engage. You don't really need to do anything. Just get your overshield and just go Rambo. And you're probably going to win the fight. And if you get ult, or when you get ult, then it's just a free team wipe. Nobody knows how to play against Magic in these ranks. Next, we have Mr. Fantastic, a very strong character. He just got nerfed, but he's still very strong. Highly recommend playing him, one of the best characters in the game. Especially because you don't need to aim, and he's very good at playing defense as well as offense. Next, we have Penny. Penny's nest just requires too much cooperation, and you don't usually see this in Bronze to Diamond unless you're playing with a squad. Again, this list is not for squads. This is more of a list for people who play solo, duos, and maybe even trio. Next, we have Spider-Man. Now, this is similar to Black Panther and Iron Fist. It's not about Spider-Man getting KOs. It's about the uptime this character has. He's able to distract for a very long time without taking damage because he's really hard to hit. So in these ranks in particular, if I go in as Spider-Man and I'm distracting two of your people for a very long time, what's going to happen is either you're going to try to fight me and I run away, and I do this about 3 or 4 times. Eventually, the supports aren't going to get help and Spider-Man will get free KOs, or they just keep doing that and they auto lose the game anyway. If people don't understand how to deal with that and just take them out. You know, they don't have great aim and they don't know how to sit them down. When we're discussing stuff like this is more about strategy. The Marvel Rivals community at the moment lacks strategy. A lot of it is because the background that players have generally is from, like, they don't play competitive games, they don't play strategic games, you know, they don't really have that gaming background. But you'll notice players that play other games like Call of Duty or other games, just other hardcore competitive games, have an easier time dealing with Spider-Man, Black Panther, Iron Fist, and stuff like that. But we have to remember this is a casual game, so majority of the players don't have those reflexes. Majority of those players don't have that strategy game sense to deal with it. This is why Spider-Man is good. Next, we have Star-Lord. Simply speaking, players do not save their ultimates at all in these ranks, especially healers. Just wait for them to use it and then just ult and wipe the team. Next, we have the Thing. He just got buffed so he can jump at a target because there's the flow of the match, or like just because players don't understand how to position, they don't understand how to space, they don't understand the flow of the fight. They can end up too close to him, and if they do get too close, he just jumps on them and punches and gets the KO. He's not broken, it's just people don't understand spacing and how to play around abilities at this rank. Now, I'm not going to go over the rest, but I will talk about the categories. So free wins if good. These are the characters that if you play well, you will probably win more often than not. Then you have the 50-50 team reliant. These characters are more so you're not going to win by yourself. You need to have a decent team or a great team. If your team is absolutely horrible, you're probably going to lose. Then next we have good luck. These are the characters I don't recommend playing until you reach higher ranks. Next, we're going to move to GM to Celestial. So with our free wins category, we still have Black Panther there for the same reason. Even if he doesn't get KOs, he's very good at distracting, but most of the time he will get a KO, and he can be in the backline for a very long time. Players are just now learning how to play with more cohesion. They're just now learning how to be more cooperative. They're still not there yet. Once you hit to the tip of Celestial, that's when we start to be a little bit more ready to play as a group. But for the most part, we're still kind of fragmented as players, and there's a lot of ego when it comes to GM players. That ego means that there's a lot less teamwork happening because we're so invested in just being top dog or calling someone out, and it's just a whole bunch of ego. So he thrives off of that chaos, not only the chaos on the field, but the chaos between the team. Next, we have Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is pretty similar here. You're not going to get as many KOs as you would in Bronze to Diamond, but you still can every now and then. Your ult is just a great way to make space. You can just ult however far you need to ult to, and that creates a lot of space. Players still fighting your ult from time to time, and still an overall great character. Next, we have Iron Fist for the same reason. The fact that the dude is still a pain in the butt to deal with. Even if he doesn't get KOs, he's very good at surviving, and if everybody does end up split up, he will pick people off. The next we have Iron Man for the same reason. Now it's a little bit harder for Iron Man to play. He's gonna have to use cover and things like that, but we're still in a rank where supports still tend to ult really in really silly ways, and Iron Man can get free ults off, or teams just end up clumped and he can still get free KOs off them. Next we have Loki. So Loki moved up here. The reason why Loki moved up here is because we understand the dynamic of how to play support. We also understand the flow of the game a little bit better by now. So just that is enough to pilot Loki. Next, we have Mr. Fantastic. Again, Mr. Fantastic is still really strong. And now we're having Wolverine. So the reason why Wolverine wasn't in free wins in Bronze to Diamond is simply because Wolverine required you to understand how the game goes. Just like Loki, when you understand how the game's supposed to function, whether you're a Lord Loki or a Lord Wolverine or just a regular player, you can still make them work and you will still be very strong with them. Again, not going to talk too much about these, but I will say that Spider-Man got dropped lower because by this rank, people understand how to play against Spider-Man. They understand how to aim way better. Again, they're getting better at being more cohesive. And then you also have Thing being dropped lower, and this is because people know how to play around cooldowns by this point. If the Thing has a cooldown, for the most part, they're not going to get close. And even if they do end up getting close, even if you do end up getting close to the Thing, most players know how to space out far enough so that the Thing can't jump on the people in the back. So it's a lot better positioning in these ranks. Let's move on to the next rank, which is going to be Eternity to OneAboveAll. So if you are Eternity or OneAboveAll players, the free wins for these ranks are going to be Mr. Fantastic. Again, very good defensive and offensive. He's a very great character. You just need to know how to play him. And then for the Wolverine, is free wins, still just a really good character. Being able to displace anybody on the team, ridiculous. A lot of the other characters from the free wins got dropped lower for the simple fact that they're easier to deal with. Why? Because people in these ranks tend to play together more often. They tend to communicate more often. They tend to and I'm not one of them. I don't use comms, but I just know as I play with them and play against them, I can tell that they're on comms, and I can tell that they're moving as a unit. I can tell that they're shifting their focus to deal with the threat, and then they go back to playing the game. It's a lot more cohesive in how they play, and that is how you deal with a lot of these characters that are a problem. However, if you are good with Black Panther still, you would still be a menace, and so forth and so on. As I said before, if you want a more in-depth version, go ahead and check out the link below. I streamed it and I talked about every single character. I have timestamps so you can hop to whichever rank you want to, and you'll be able to see your character on the screen, which I'm talking about. So you can literally hop to whatever you want to see and for whatever rank to get why I placed them there. I did not want to make this video too long. Thank you guys for watching. You guys have been awesome. And until next time, you know what I always say. You guys are doing what? Hopping often. Aloft.